I, 28 male, spent 3 years living in a cramped Chicago apartment, working a soul-crushing data entry job by day and bleeding ink onto digital pages by night. For 3 years, I was the unreliable partner. I was the one who couldn't contribute to the vacation fund because I was busy buying writing software or replacement keyboards. My girlfriend, 27 female, of 4 years never let me forget it. She worked in corporate recruiting, a job she hated but used as a badge of adult status to look down on me. The tension reached a flashpoint last month. I received an email from a Big 5 publisher offering a 2-book hardcover contract with a 6-figure advance. I was shaking. I had the contract open on my laptop when she walked in, slamming her designer bag on the counter. She didn't even look at me before complaining about the dishes. When I told her about the deal, she let out this jagged, serrated laugh. She called my work sci-fi garbage and told me to stop living in a fantasy world. She told me to get a real job or we were done. I didn't argue. I didn't try to prove anything. I realized she didn't just doubt my talent. She resented my ambition because she couldn't control it. While she was in the shower, I signed that contract. The next morning, while she was at work, I called movers. I used a small portion of my signing bonus to secure a studio apartment across town. By 6 p.m., I was gone. I left a copy of my bank transfer on the counter with a note. I'm taking your advice. I'm focusing on my real job. I blocked her immediately, but the entitlement was just beginning. About 3 months later, I got a legal notice from a cheap lawyer she hired. She was trying to sue for restitution of living expenses, claiming she was a silent partner in my creative process because she paid more rent. My lawyer basically laughed her out of the room. Since we weren't married and I wasn't her employee, she had zero claim to my intellectual property. Then came launch day. My debut novel hit number 4 on the New York Times bestseller list. The dedication page went viral. To everyone who believed in me, you know who you are. It was a thank you to my brother, my professors, and my friends. It was also a very loud silence directed at her. I was at a massive book signing downtown when she showed up. She pushed through the crowd, looking frantic, clutching my book. She slammed it down, pointing at the dedication, demanding to know why she wasn't mentioned after carrying me for years. The whole store went silent. People started filming. I told her straight up, "You told me to get a real job. You called my work garbage. Why would I dedicate my success to someone who tried to kill the dream?" She tried to pivot, crying about how she was just motivating me and how she still loved me. She even said the success was ours and we should go buy a house in the suburbs. I told her there was no ours and that my new place only had room for one writer. She lost it, screaming that I was a selfish prick and that she'd sue me for using her likeness in the book. I just pointed out that if she saw herself in the villainous, narcissistic character in Chapter 6, that was her own problem. Security escorted her out while she was still yelling. But here's where the story gets crazy. She tried to sue me again, this time producing a lifestyle support agreement she claimed I signed while drunk at a New Year's party years ago. It said I owed her 25% of all my future earnings. I knew I never signed it. My lawyer hired a forensic document examiner, and we started the discovery process to prove it was a forgery. During discovery, we got access to her bank records to see if she actually supported me. We found something way worse. She hadn't been working double shifts. She had actually been fired for unethical behavior months before I left. To keep up her lifestyle and pay her share of the rent, she had found an old passbook for a savings account my mom had set up for me as a kid. She guessed the security questions and had been draining it for over a year. She wasn't supporting me. I was unknowingly paying for her designer bags and wellness retreats, while she was calling me a loser for being broke. We met for a settlement conference in a glass room on the 12th floor of a downtown office. Her lawyer asked for $150,000 to go away. My lawyer just opened a folder and laid out the 42 unauthorized transfers she made from my account. We had the IP addresses tracing back to her laptop. We also had her termination letter. I told her exactly how it was going to go. She was going to sign a total release of all claims, a massive non-disclosure agreement, and a confession of judgment for every cent she stole plus interest. I told her I'd be garnishing her wages at whatever real job she eventually found. I gave her 60 seconds to sign, or I'd call the cops waiting outside to charge her with grand theft and identity theft. She was shaking, her face a weird shade of gray. She signed everything. She walked out sobbing because her free ride was officially over. I walked out and went to a bookstore to see my book in the window. Life is pretty great when you stop letting people treat your passion like a punchline. Anyway, if you enjoyed watching a real job turn into a real nightmare for an entitled ex, make sure to subscribe. Unlike her, I actually deliver on what I promise.